What it do? What it do? Yeah, we in this. Hmm. We're gonna hit. What's up? What's up? Welcome. What's up? What's up? Welcome. We are locked and loaded live here reviewing the OP15 set for everybody watching. Just setting up some last minute things. Locked and loaded. Alrighty. What's good, guys? What's good? How do I open my chat, though? Gonna be doing a quick well, I can't see the chat. I'm gonna have to look at it on my phone. What's good, guys? Welcome to the live. So OP15 is just about to drop very, very soon. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. I mean, I'm testing a new mic. It should sound pretty crispy, but let me know if it doesn't sound good. Also, let me know if the music's too loud. I got some music playing in the background. I don't even know if you guys can hear it, but let me know. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so pretty much we're going to get right into it. OP15 is dropping April 1st, I believe. Let's look it up. OPTCG News. OPTCG News. Let's see. Bam. Available April 3rd, 2026. April 3rd, 2026. That's going to be on Friday. This week on Good Friday. April Fool's is on April 1st, and then 2 days later it'll be April 3rd, and that is going to be the release. A world of treasure and adventure await. The One Piece card game is a trading card game originally released to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the One Piece manga. Okay. Play sheet. Fill out the survey. Okay. All right. I think that's all the general information that we need. We're going to jump right back to the card list. All right. We have 196 new cards in this set. That's pretty hype. We're just going to go down the line and look and analyze every single card that we have on here. All right. So number 1, we have the Bonnie Jewelry Bonnie EBO4. So if you guys didn't know, OP15 is going to have some EBO4 cards. EBO4 was a set that was exclusively released in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And the way they did it for the United States is they split the cards of EBO4 Half of them came out in OP14 and the other half came out in OP15. So we're going to get this brand new leader, Jewelry Bonnie. Effect, opponent's turn. If you have one or less life card, this leader gains 2,000 power. Activate main. Once per turn, give one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power. Then if you have 2 or more life cards, you may add 1 card from the top of your life to their hand. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty much this is going to be a 7k leader once you have 1 or less life. Alright, and this effect lets you take your own life for free. So pretty much this leader is getting down to 1 life, and then it's just going to be a 7k leader for the whole rest of the game. That's going to be the main game plan. And then we do have the alt art. Looks pretty nice, looks pretty sweet. You have the Gear 5, got the Kuma in the back. Pretty sweet card. I'm not going to be playing it. I'll probably make like a deck list for anybody that wants to play it. But yeah, sweet. Moving on, we have the Jewelry Bonnie. So first we're just going to go with the EBO4 red. Jewelry Bonnie. This is going to be a very interesting card. This is a Straw Hat Searcher. So on play, look at top 4. I'm going to grab a Straw Hat other than Jewelry Bonnie, and or Egghead other than Jewelry Bonnie, and then place it in your hand and place the rest at the bottom of your deck. So Straw Hats have a bunch of searchers. This is just going to be another added searcher that is going to be, you know, really, really helpful, especially for Red Green Luffy. Red Green Luffy, because in that deck you want to search your Namis, the blocker Namis, and you can't search Namis with other Nami searchers. A lot of people don't know that. So this is going to be able to let you grab those Namis. Then we have the alt art right here. It's pretty sweet. Bonnie in kid form. I like it. Moving on, we have the EBO4 Tashigi, Smoker and Tashigi. I just realized it's a slash special. It's a double card. It's going to be having Rush, opponent's turn. If your Navy type leader's base power, becomes 7k. Pretty strong. So this is going to be pretty much played in Kobe. I don't really know any other leader that would really run this. Maybe Garp. I think there's like a red black Garp, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or is it just red? I don't know. I haven't played that leader in a long time. That leader might even be rotating out soon. So I think mainly only Kobe is going to be able to play this. And then of course any future Navy cards are going to be able to for sure play this card. Up next we have, let me lower this down a little bit. Up next we have the Zeph. Zeph is going to be EBO4. When attacking, your leader's base power becomes 7,000 until the end of your opponent's next end phase. Very good card in the PRB Red Sanji leader. If you guys know that card, it's all of your characters without an on-play ability gain rush. Like, not all of them. You can give one of your cards a rush. So this card has a when attacking. So this essentially is a rush 8k that when attacking, your Sanji leader becomes 7k. Pretty freaking good. I don't really see this card being played in any other leader. Up next we have the Trafalgar Law 2k. It's a pretty trash card, not gonna lie. I was looking at this earlier. This character cannot attack unless your opponent has 2 or more characters with a base of 5,000 power or more. It is a 3 cost 5k. It is a 2k counter. So, I mean, 7 Worlds of the Sea, Supernova, and Heart Pirate. It's just a 2k. You're not gonna ever be playing this card. Moving on to Moda, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 Leloucha Kingdom, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's a searcher 2k for any deck that runs a Leloucha package. Moving on to one of my favorite cards of the set, we have Roronoa Zoro. On play, your leader gains 2k until the end of your opponent's next end phase, straight up. There's no limitation, there's no archetype lock, it's just any red leader can get this effect. Then activate main once per turn. If your opponent has a character with 8,000 power or more, this character gains rush character during this turn. So you can activate main and have the ability to rush with this card, but only attack into characters. That's what rush character means. Very, very good card. This card is going to be very, very hard to get, I think, within the first 2 weeks of release, because it is a very good card. I think Ace can play this card. Any red deck can pretty much play this card. Red Green Luffy can play this card. It is Egghead and Straw Hat Crew. So it is searchable by this brand new Bonnie too. If you ever want to randomly run this Bonnie and this Zoro together. The alt art for it, solid. Who's this artist? I can't read it. But he went off. I like this art a lot. Sweet. Moving on to the events, we have Distorted Future. It's a Egghead Bonnie Pirates. If you have 2 or less life cards, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3k during this turn. For a 1-cost event, that's pretty freaking good. And then counter plus 3k, but it has no trigger. And then we have another Rayleigh event card to go back into the Rayleigh package. So Rayleigh support, guys. Rayleigh is getting some support. You may give 1 active Dawn to one of your Silver's Rayleigh. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2k during this turn. And then counter up to one of your opponent's characters or Silver's Rayleigh gains 2k for this battle. So we have the 3 hockey event cards, right? In Rayleigh, we have the Observation Hockey, which is a searcher. We have the Armament Hockey, which is a buffer. And then we have the King's Hockey, which is a defensive, like a defensive card pretty much. And then now we have this, if a student, it's my student's farewell, I want it to be proper. So pretty much this is going to be a reducer event card. So it's going to be helping you clear board. I don't know how good it is, to be honest. I don't know if I would run it. Maybe like a 1 of or a 2 of, but yeah, it's cool. Some Rayleigh support. It's nice to see that Rayleigh has not been forgotten. And then Lucia Kingdom. All of your characters with a base cost of 1 gain plus 5k power. On play, set the power of up to one of your opponent's characters to 0 during this turn. This is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you have to kind of play around it though. If you do run a deck that has a lot of babies, like a lot of 1-cost searchers and stuff like that, this is definitely a card that you want to have in there. On play, you're going to be able to reduce any character to 0, and then all of your 1-cost gain 5k. So they essentially become 7k, because usually 1-cost searchers have 2k power already. Very good card. Moving on, we have the black CP8 Alpha. On play, trash 3 cards, top of your deck. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 1 cost during this turn. It's a 2k. So it's a searchable CP 2k. And I guess it's like a -1. Yeah, that's alright. Moving on to Kaku. Once per turn, if your black character base cost 5 or less to be KO'd, you may place 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck. Okay, so it is a 2k that if you choose, you can play it and have protection for your board. And then on play, it is trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. So this could probably get played in like Lucci or like any like black deck pretty much that wants some protection for their 5 cost or less. It's sweet. It's sweet. I like it. Got the alt for it. Giraffe. Kobe. I've been seeing this card get played a lot. It's EBO4 Kobe. Once per turn, if your leader's type includes Navy, this character will be removed from the field. You may trash 1 card from your hand instead. Your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's character is KO'd, draw 1 card. So if you guys know about how red black Kobe plays, red black Kobe has a card, right? Let me show you. Helmepo TCG. It's this card right here. So this card is going to pair very nicely with this Helmepo right here. Helmepo is, you may trash 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card, and play 1 sword type character with cost 8 or less other than Helmepo from your trash. So that's going to be this guy. You can play him off Helmepo. And then it says, then place 1 character played by this effect at the bottom of the owner's deck at the end of your turn. But this card's effect says, if it were to be removed from the field, you may trash 1 card from your hand. So you can just trash 1 card from hand and it bypasses this Helmepo effect. So you can pretty much on 6 Dawn, play Helmepo, then play Kobe, and then your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's character is KO, draw 1 card. So, you know, pretty good. It is able to double play and then it can stay on the field, as opposed to previously when you play Kobe, you're typically having to play Helmepo into another card, and then you pretty much get 1 attack off and then it gets bottom decked. But this is a cool way to be able to keep your board with Kobe. And then we have the alt for it. Looks pretty sick, pretty savage. It kind of reminds me of the Zoro alt Zoro Alt. I almost wonder if it's the same artist. No, it's not. All right, moving on. We have the Kobe manga. It's gonna be one of the mangas of the set. I personally don't like it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's cool. I don't think Kobe should have deserved a manga. I think it should have been Enel for sure. Enel, the secret Enel should have gotten a manga, or even the secret Luffy. Like I feel like Bandai missed on it. All right, moving on. Another EBO4 2K counter. We have a Rev Army. You may rest this character if there are 2 or more characters that cost 8 or more. Up to one of your Revolutionary Army type or leader or character gains plus 1k during this turn. I don't know if I like this card as like a card that you just play. It is a 2k. I guess you can play this in red, black, Sabo. But then the other 2ks that you have in that deck are like what? Koala, which is on play minus 3k, which is like super good. What other 2ks does red, black, Sabo run? I don't know, but I don't think this deck is this card really is that great. But it's cool. It's a 2k. You always like to see 2ks. Moving on, we have Doll. It's a blocker for Egghead Navy. All of your Navy type characters gain plus 2 cost. That's pretty good. Not only just being a blocker, but raising the cost of all of your cards to be able to not get, stunned by Carrot or, KO'd by Emu and stuff like that. So pretty good card. Definitely a nice addition, I would say, to any Egghead Navy deck. And then we have a new Helmeppo 2K. Activate main, trash this character, play up to 1 sword type character, costs 3 or less other than Helmeppo from your hand or trash. Pretty bad. It's just a 2K. The effect is whatever. It could be cool because you could play Helmeppo, activate main, and then play this guy, you can play a blocker from trash, I guess. I don't know. But it's cool. It's just a 2K. Moving on to Rob Lucci. This is a pretty hype card. Anyone that plays Rob Lucci, you are very excited that this card came out. So we have if your leader type includes CP, this character gains plus 1k power and plus 2 cost for every 5 cards in your trash. On play, you may trash one of your characters, draw 1 card. So pretty much this card is going to be very hard to remove once it hits the field. And if you guys notice, we have the Gear 5 Luffy here in the top corner. It's a pretty cool little detail. It's when Luffy was fighting Lucci in Egghead. You can see the battlefield right here. Lucci's in his awakened form. It's pretty sick. It's a pretty cool art. But yeah, pretty cool card. Once this card hits the field, it's pretty much never going to get removed unless it's tough because if you have 10 cards in your trash, it's an 8 cost. 8 cost 8k. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to snipe cards that have high cost with, especially now that Red Rock is gone. So, good luck if you ever play against Lucci because this card is going to be something tough. And then we have the alt for it. The alt looks pretty cool. I bet in person it looks way better. This yellow probably pops in person. Nice. And then we have a new CP9 event card, Finger Pistol Yellow Lotus, main 4 cost. You may trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, KO one of your opponent's characters with the base cost of 5 or less. Trigger, activate this main effect. It's a pretty good card. There is a lot of anti-removal in the game nowadays, so I don't know how good it really is, but, it's nice. It's nice to have. All right, we have I'll Whip You Into Shape, Navy Sword. The last of the EBO4 cards, I believe. No, we still have more EBO4. Main, up to 1 of your sword type characters or leader card can also attack active characters during this turn. Counter, your leader gains plus 3k. So the whole point of red, black Kobe is it lets you is Kobe even? Yeah, Kobe is black because this card is black right here. It lets you attack into your into your opponent's characters that are active. So this card is just another tool to let your opponent keep swinging into your active characters and removing your board and not even letting you establish anything. So pretty good card. It already has cards that do this effect, but for a 1 cost, it's a pretty good card. And also it's just a counter at the end of the day. Moving on, we have Emmet. This character cannot attack unless there is a character with 12k base power or more. Trigger, give all of your opponent's characters minus 3k power during this turn. Then if you have 0 life, play this card. I don't know if this card is good. I'm trying to like figure out when to play it, but yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem good. The trigger's cool because it like pretty much stops your opponent's whole attack and it plays itself, but yeah, I don't know. Trash card. Not all the cards are good. We have a new Sanji, Egghead Straw Hat. This character's base power becomes the same as your opponent's leader during this turn. That's really good. Pretty much it's swinging at least even power every single time it attacks. On KO, if you have 2 or less life, play up to 1 yellow card with cost 6k with 6k power or less from your hand. That's really good too. So pretty much you're going to not want to be KOing this card because then your opponent gets to play a free card from his hand with no requirement. I mean, 2 or less life, but if you're playing Vegapunk, you're pretty much always going to be in that low life range already. Pretty good card. It is kind of slow though because it doesn't really have an on-play effect. You kind of have to, and it doesn't really even have like a attacking effect. So it's just swinging even at your opponent every time, and your opponent doesn't really want to KO it. But they can still bottom deck it. We got the Sanji alt. This one is fighting Kizaru. Nice. We have a Sentomaru blocker. On block, if you have 2 or less life cards, just draw 1 card. Solid. Solid. New Kuma. If you have 2 or less life cards, add up to one card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. On play. So it's an on play heal. On play heal 1 for 7 Dawn. On KO, add 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards to the owner's hand. Wow, that's a pretty good card. It's just a 2 or less life card requirement. And the KO is pretty nice because then your opponent doesn't ever want to KO it, or they're going to be taking a 1-hit damage. Egghead and Revolutionary Army. This could be a card to look out for sure. The other new Kuma on KO, play 1 Rev Army card with cost 4 or less from your hand. I don't think it's good. Pretty trash. It's not even a 2k, and it's a pretty slow card. It's whatever. Now we have a new 2k Pacifista if you have Jewelry Bonnie and you have 0 life cards. This character gains blocker. So maybe you can just play this card in Bonnie as a 2k, and then worst case scenario, you just play it as a 1-cost blocker. I like it. It's cool. Vegapunk. We have, if you have 2 or less life cards, all of your yellow scientist type characters cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effect. Dawn times 1, this character gains blocker. It's pretty good. I don't know if Vegapunk ever had any removal protection other than this card. So this card is definitely a cool add. It would be way better if it was a 2K, but I feel like it'd be a little overpowered for having a 2K and having a non-removal effect and having a blocker effect. So they kind of had to, choose what to give it and what to take away. Moving on. Kizaru, EBO4. One of the most broken, if not the most broken card in the whole set. This is probably the best card in the whole set. It's going to be like $30, $35, $40 on release per copy. And hopefully it goes down to like maybe 20, I think. But yeah, it's going to be very hard to get. And you're going to have to pay a lot of money if you want to get a playset. Definitely more than $100. So it's just going to be a blocker, 5 cost, 6k blocker, 1k counter. And then on play, if you have 2 or less life cards, add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. So it's really, really good. It's a heal and it's a blocker. So it is essentially like one of the best defensive cards in the whole game, because you can go from 0 life to 1 life and 1 blocker with 5 Dawn, which essentially like guarantees you 2 free hits, 2 free defensive hits. Pretty good. So let's look at the alt. We have I'm not a real big fan of it, to be honest. I feel like they could have picked like a way sicker or alt, but it's cool. Card is really broken, guys. If you get this on your pre-release, you lucky. You lucky, twin. All right, moving on. We have the Black Rope Dragon Twister. 6 Dawn Supernova Straw Hat Fishman Island archetype. You may turn 1 card from the top of your life face up. If you have less characters than your opponent, KO up to one of your opponent's characters cost 6. or less, and one of your opponent's characters costs 5 or less. So it's a double KO, which is very strong for 6 Dawn. It's almost kind of like a Gravity Blade, to be honest. It's like a yellow Gravity Blade. However, there's one little difference, is that it's not hitting 6 and 6. It's hitting a 6 and a 5, and you do have to turn your life face up, and it is hard to pull off because there's so much KO protection. But yeah, it's gonna be that card right there. All right, and wrapping up, we have Gung Hawk Gatling. Add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Add 1 egghead type character from your hand to the top of your life face up. Then give your opponent's characters minus 1000 power during this turn. So it's kind of like a Hiyori type of card. You take 1 card from your life, play 1 card on your life face up, however, and then give one of your opponents minus 2k. And then trigger, draw 2, trash 1. It's all right, nothing special. And then the secret, EBO4 secret. If you have 1 or less life cards, give this card in your hand minus 1 cost, so it would be a 9 cost. On play, trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader gains 2k power until the end of your opponent's next end phase. Then this character gains blocker until your opponent's next end phase. So it is a blocker, but it's only once. It's going to be an on play blocker. So if you're playing this in Bonnie, your Bonnie is essentially a 9k leader for your opponent's following turn. Pretty freaking good. Let's take a look at the alt. Nice. He's fighting Kizaru right here. I like it. Again, you could only really appreciate the art of these cards in person. So for now, it looks cool. Gonna have to see what this looks like in person for sure. All right, and the treasure rare. We're gonna have the Zoro, the Film Supernova Straw Hat. On play, your leader has the Film or Straw Hat type. Set 2 of your Dawn cards active. End of your turn, set this character as active. Zoro is one of the most popular characters in the series, so Zoro getting a Seeker Rare definitely makes sense. All right, and that was going to be it for the EBO4. Next live stream, we're going to go over the official OP15 stuff. So if you guys enjoyed it, thanks for watching.